Fighting games are filled with evil women, and I'm not sure why, but I like it. From paid assassins to women who kill just because it's fun, and even genocide enjoyers. Yep, you heard me correctly, and it actually gets worse from there, because one character on this list wants actual omnicide, so yeah, it's gonna get crazy. Today, I'm telling you about the craziest women in fighting games and then ranking them on a tier list. From the menaces of society to psychopaths and then actual demons who would make the devil blush. But real quick, tell me which fighting game lady is your favorite down in the comments below. Then leave a like in their honor, or just because you enjoyed the video, or simply like my channel. I am trying to post daily videos, so make sure you subscribe to never miss any future content. And alright everyone, without any further ado, let's begin. Okay, here we go. I want to start with one character in each category from top to bottom. So starting off with the worst tier, demons. That's right, these women aren't just evil, they're not just crazy, no, they're a special mix of both to form a truly demonic being. For a fantastic first example, we have Tira from the Soul Calibur series. That's right, which doesn't get enough love. This fighting game series is fantastic. And honestly, Tira is one of my favorite characters because I've got a soft spot for evil ladies, but also her playstyle is very fun. She's got split personality disorder, and her move list changes based on the personality you're currently in. But funny enough, both personalities are evil. She's just either happy while evil or depressed while being evil, but rest assured, she's always evil. But what puts her in demon status is how much she loves genocide. That's right, the more murder the better. That's how Tira feels. It's her life goal to kill as many people as possible. And in fact, her idol is Nightmare, the main villain of the series, who can lay waste to entire countries. That's right, she idolizes him because he's able to kill so many people. That's why she lusts after him. In fact, in Soul Calibur 5, when she discovers the new Nightmare is less murderous than the previous incarnation, she takes steps to kill him and then replace him with a new Nightmare. Yeah, or in other words, the new Nightmare wasn't killing enough people for her. That's how twisted Tira is. Then, for a minor side note, her weapon is sharp on both sides so that she gets injured while combating the opponents. That's right, she gets a thrill out of hurting herself while murdering other people. Which, after hearing everything I've said, there should be no doubt that Tira belongs in the demon category. But next up, we have evil, and I think Frost is perfect in this category. Everybody mentions Melina, but Frost is arguably more evil because she murdered her mother at age 11 or something and brags about it casually. Then on top of that, her ultimate goal is to become more powerful just for the sake of it and kill anybody that gets in her way or simply refuses to acknowledge her power level. That's right, in Mortal Kombat 11, if she gets Kronika's hourglass, she just starts killing every other timeline and subjugating them to her will. In other words, she's like Shao Kahn on steroids, because at least he's being influenced by the one being. Frost isn't. No, she's just evil. But okay, next up we have the crazy tier. Juri is a perfect example of this, because Street Fighter really wants you to think she can be redeemed, and maybe that's the case. Perhaps there is a way Juri can see the light, but also don't downplay how crazy this woman is. She does casually murder people and take joy in it. In fact, she's even murdered non-violent people like scientists and whatnot, so she's not above casual killing. And while in previous games it was implied that she'd stop once Bison was dead, Bison was gone in Street Fighter 6, and yet Juri was still being a terrible person, committing crimes on a regular basis and still killing people. So Juri is definitely crazy. Can she be redeemed? Maybe, but still, she's definitely crazy. When you've got a body count that high and take casual pleasure in hurting people, you're crazy. So okay, next up we have the Menace tier. These characters are a problem for society. They're not evil or crazy, but they have issues. And I think Nina from Tekken is a perfect example. That's right, because many casual fans think her sister Anna is the evil one, but no, that's not actually true. The more you dig into the lore, it's Nina who's the bad person. Because not only does she do casually awful things to her sister and other people around her, but also she's a gun for hire who serves good people or bad people depending on who wants to hire her. From Jin to Kazuya, Heihachi, and even Reina in Tekken 8, who's definitely got some screws loose and is arguably an evil person. Yet the Nina still said, sure, I'll work for you. Yeah, she's a menace to society. But the next tier is we can save her. These characters seem evil or crazy, but actually could be saved with the right steps being taken. For example, Anna from Tekken, that's right, she seems evil and a bit too promiscuous for sure on top of that. However, when you learn more about her past, you feel bad for Anna and realize that Nina is mostly responsible for why she turned out this way. And in fact, Anna tried to save Nina multiple times and it just didn't work out. Believe it or not, Anna's entire motivation in Tekken 8 is avenging her husband's murder. Yeah, that's way more honorable than Nina, who's just a gun for hire. So yeah, back to the top of this list. Mileena in Mortal Kombat definitely belongs in the demon tier. This woman will do anything to further her status in society, even killing the sister she was raised alongside. Yeah, Mileena's not above killing anybody, and is also vain to boot, so that's a sin in its own right. And for the cherry on top, she eats people, even her own race. According to Mortal Kombat 11's trailer, she ate a fellow Tarkatan and didn't care one bit. And there's actually one more character who's worse than everyone else, but I'm gonna save them for later in the video. Next up is the evil tier, Arya from Killer Instinct. Now here there's some nuance, because technically Arya just wants the survival of humankind, which on the surface seems like a noble endeavor, especially in a series with demons and other world-ending threats like Gargus himself. However, when you learn what Arya's doing to achieve these means, you're like, yeah, she's definitely evil. From human experimentation and other horrible exploits like that, along with murdering any humans that don't share the ideals of her company, yeah, Arya is definitely evil. Then also in this tier we have Sadira, because she leads a cult of spider worshippers, even sacrificing people to her spider god, and also serves under Arya. She's one of her assassins for hire. Now with that all being said, Sadira is one of my favorite characters in fighting game history, especially in Killer Instinct. Man, I love this character, she's so cool. More spider women in fighting games. Okay, the crazy tier, Harley Quinn from the Injustice series. Do I even need to explain? I feel like most people nowadays understand Harley Quinn's character because she's gotten really mainstream in recent years. She loves the Joker, did pretty much everything for him. She's a crazy person. And while she does redeem herself in some storylines, becoming a good person and a borderline hero in her own right, I still can't forgive her for what she did before that. In fact, I'll be honest, too many people forgive Harley Quinn and try to say, oh, it's all Joker's doing. No, she chose to do all those things because she lusted after a serial killer. Stop making excuses for her, people. Come on, you're freaking me out. Anyways, next up is Menace tier. Tanya from the Mortal Kombat series is an absolute menace. She will backstab anybody and everybody to save her own skin and further her own status. Well, except for Mortal Kombat 1's version of Tanya, but many fans agreed that's not Tanya, it's a brand new character. In previous games, Tanya was a backstabbing monster who would betray anybody and everybody while also taking joy in killing people. It was a fun time for her. But next up, let's talk about Morgan. This character is hard to rank since originally she was a succubus who straight up did kill people to prolong her immortal life. For anyone watching not aware what a succubus is, they do that to sustain themselves, right? They kill people by doing this action right here and then make themselves immortal. And Morgan was no different in the original Darkstalkers, but she got so popular that the writers retconned her to being more peaceful. Now she sustains herself on energy and dreams, joy from fighting, all that stuff. In other words, modern Morgan is powered by vibes and never needs to kill anybody, so that's interesting. However, in the Udon comics, she is straight up evil and predatory, will eat people for sustenance. Next up, there's one final character in the We Can Save Her tier, and that's Shermie from the King of Fighters series. She used to serve under Orochi, who's very evil, and I'll explain that more later on. But funny enough, after Orochi was defeated and the mind control was broken, turns out Shermie's a pretty chill chick who likes to play music at band festivals and does like to fight, but who doesn't in a fighting game series, right? And yeah, overall, Shermie's not a terrible person at all. Turns out Orochi was responsible for all that. Oh, Aki, who could forget about this crazy girl? I'm not quite sure if she's evil, since everything she does is to make her master happy, who's actually Fang from Street Fighter V. So this woman is kind of like daddy issues taken to the extreme, right? Everything she does is to please him, which makes me wonder if Fang was killed or simply told Aki to change her ways, would she? I mean, maybe. In my opinion, Aki is crazy for sure, but not necessarily evil. I don't think it's possible to save her unless you're Fang, but also she doesn't want genocide or to conquer the world, nothing like that, so I think crazy is perfect for her. Next up, we gotta talk about Reina, one of the few women in Tekken who is actually evil. You know what I mean? Nina is a menace, and Anna is definitely debauched while being a bit crazy herself. But Reina takes it to the next level. She wants world domination, she delights in fighting, possibly killing too, though I'm not sure if she likes murder or just fighting people. Anyways, she's very similar to Heihachi, and in fact lives to be like Heihachi, who's a murderous son of a gun who wants to conquer the world and squash everyone beneath his foot. And that's why Reina is absolutely going in the evil tier. I don't think she's quite demon level, but yeah, she's Juri on steroids. Because Juri doesn't want world domination or to crush the entire world, she just wants to have fun. Reina does want the entire world to bow to her. But oh boy, here we go everybody, it's time for the most evil woman in fighting game history, at least in my opinion, and that's Vice from King of Fighters. This woman is the worst parts of Melina and Tira rolled into one, and I wish I was joking. Not only does she delight in killing people on a massive scale just like Tira, but she goes a step further and wants absolute omnicide, which means the elimination of all humans on planet Earth. That's her fantasy. Yeah, pretty crazy. But then on top of that, she's also a cannibal, just like Melina, only there's no excuse of being half Tarkatan or half demon like Melina is. No. Instead, Vice just likes to eat people because that's who she is. It's part of her personality. So yeah, demon tier. I think Vice is easily one of the most evil people in fighting games, and in my opinion, she is the most evil. Now with that all being said, I love playing this character. Her fighting style is so much fun, and not enough women rock the pixie cut in fighting games. She makes it look so good. And already for one, there you have it, ranking the most evil women in fighting games. Let me know if I missed anybody. Admittedly, I've never played the BlazBlue series, so there could be lots of evil women there. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below, it helps the channel out a ton. Then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.